Hello friends, I am Shivaji Walke. In last session of strategic business management, we have seen about what is organizational structures, which shows the relation between two employees or relation between two managers, how they are related to each other in the terms of responsibilities and authorities. Now, in today's sessions, we are going to see about what are the different types or forms of organizational structures. Last time there was a question on this same topics. What are the different forms of organizational structures? So first one, that is entrepreneurial structures or simple structures appropriate for organizations that own and managed by any single person or any single entity, a small scale industrial units, a small proprietary concerns or mini service outlet. It is an simple structures, okay, by name itself, for the purpose of the organization is owned and managed by any single persons or small scale industrial units like your corner kirana shops, then your small hotels or any vada pav or tea stalls is an own, they are following a simple kind of organizational structures, okay, under owners or under managers work in any two employees or more than two employees. Then second one, that is functional structures by name itself, based on your functions, that this divide the organizations in the main activities or functions in which all similar specialist activities are grouped together and interdependable department. Then the communications generally occurs within each functional department is transmitted across the department through the department heads. Now, based on functions, for examples, under MD we have production managers, then we have marketing managers. Now, under production manager we have line managers, then or procurement managers. Then under marketing managers we have advertising managers, or we can say salesperson or sales teams. Now, it is based on functional activities. Now, all production related activities are grouped together and all marketing related activities are grouped together under this marketing departments. Then when they want to communicate to each others, this communication is supposed to be go like in this ways, from that worker or from that production line manager to production manager, from that production manager to marketing, from that when they and their again departments. Okay, here you can see under MD or general managers, the operation manager, that is production manager, financial manager, marketing manager and human resources manager. Under marketing manager again marketing research team, advertising and promotion teams and sales manager teams. Okay, based on their functions they have segregated to each others. Now third one, that is divisional structures. The structures need to be expansions or growth are satisfying by functional structures, but not only the time limit. There comes times in the life of organizations when organization is an increasing complexity in the terms of geographic expansions, market segmentations and diversifications make the functional structure inequity. When the organization is an increasing or organization is an expansions, that time this kind of structure is followed, that is divisionals, based on divisions. Now based on product based, for examples consider HUL. Under HULs they have various products like Sunsilk shampoos, Clinic Plus shampoos, Lifebuoy soaps, then your Dove soaps. For this each department they have separate divisional or separate management structures. Okay, for this Lux soaps they have separate production manager, separate marketing managers, then separate things. For this Lifebuoy soaps they have again also they have separate things, okay, based on their products. Then another one based on customer based. Now under MD or GMs include based on their customers, okay, who is their customers. Now if their customer is an niche customers or high valued customer, that time they have separate them, and for another one they have separate one. Okay, based on uses of customers or based on lifestyle of customers or purchasing habit of their customers, they have separate divisions. Then next one, geographic and structures, that is, suppose under GM and MDs include for northern part, then for southern part, then central Indias, or like they have for Asian Pacifics, then for European countries they have separate sections. So likewise they have segregated divisions based on this product, customers and geographics. Okay, then strategic business units. When business growing above these divisions, that time they follow this strategic business unit. When organization face difficulties in managing divisional operations due to the increasing diversities, size and number of divisions, it becomes difficult to manage top management to exercise the strategic control. Then conceptually, SBOs are discrete elements of business serving the specific products, marketing with and rapidly independent and competitors for which strategic plannings can be concluded. So they have made the separate strategic business units. Okay, as here example you can see chairman, under the chairman's the corporate marketing department, then finance department, R&D, operations and HRs. Okay, for SBO ones means consider ITC. Okay, for ITC under their chairmans, then their R&D department, their first SBOs, that is we can consider that their cigar divisions, and here we can say their FMCG sectors. Okay, then they have again segregated into division based on their product or based on their customers. Okay, based on product in ITC FMCG we can say for Sunfish biscuits, or we can say here for soaps divisions. Okay, they have separate divisions. Then next one, that is matrix structures. In large organizations, there is often need to work on a major products or project, each which strategically significant. The result is an required the matrix form organizational structures. Now, this matrix forms in case of large scale business or their business is an expanding or through working throughout the world. Then, in matrix organization structures, the reporting relations are set up or grid or matrix rather than the traditional hierarchies or a type of organizational management in which the peoples are similar skills are pulled together or grouped together for work assignment and resulting more than one managers or report to each other. Now here you can say matrix structures. The senior management, we can say CEOs. Under that CEOs, production department, sales department, finance and art department. Now for project A's, they have same production department or same managers. Then for sales they have another one. Then for finance and R&Ds. Now for project B's, also that particular that same persons, they have to look after that production department, sales department, finance department and R&D department. Okay, now they are simply trying to cutting the manpowers, okay, by giving the more enlargement or by providing the more tasks to any one persons. Okay, now this is about the organizational structures. Now we are moving towards the organizational structures or what is corporate governance. Corporate governance is an systems of structuring, operating and controlling a company with a view to achieve a long-term strategic goals and complying with legals and regulatory apart from meeting environmental and local committee needs. Corporate governance is an system structures or operating or controlling a company for the purpose of achieving the long-term objective and goals of your organizations. Okay, so these are the structures or the persons like your MDs, then your CEOs, then your director bodies, your chairpersons, they include in a corporate governance. Okay, then corporate governance can be defined as set of systems and process which ensure that a company is managed in a best interest of all stakeholders or all employees, or we can say a stakeholder can be directly or indirectly benefited by that company's operations. Okay, so corporate governance is simply the persons who is managing your companies. That can be your chairpersons, then your vice chairpersons, director bodies, your CEOs or EMDs. These include in a corporate governance. These are the higher authorities persons. Okay, they take the all decision related to your organizations, means major decisions. Okay, then what are the different important terms under this corporate governance? First one, corporate powers. This is an power to influence other. In case of leaders, if that leader is an influencing for their employees for the purpose of achieving the objectives of organizations. Okay, same like here, corporate power. It is an ability to influence your employees or influence your other stakeholders. Then what is corporate politics? The carrying out the activities not prescribed by the policies for the purpose of influencing and restrictions of advantages within the organizations. Now, what is corporate politics? It is an activities which are not prescribed in their purpose in policies for the purpose of influencing or distributions of advantages within an organizations. Then what is corporate culture? It is an set of important assumptions, beliefs and some values often unstated that the members of the organizations have share commons. These are the corporate cultures. These are the some beliefs and values that every employees or every manager has to follow this one. Then who is stakeholders? Now we have two concepts, that is shareholders and stakeholders. Shareholders are those persons who take the share of your companies for the purpose of getting the rewards or getting the profits, and stakeholder is any person who is directly or indirectly affected by your company. That can be your customer, then your shareholder, then your competitor, your governance, your organizational localities or surrounding areas or environment. Anyone who is directly or indirectly affected due to your organization, that we can say that is an stakeholder. Then what is corporate social responsibility or CSR activities? Is an concept that suggests that it is an responsibility of corporations operating within the society to contribute toward the economic, social and environmental development of the societies in a positive ways. It is an CSR is an simply some responsibilities or something up from their profit they have to serve to the societies for the purpose of positive impacts. Okay, then the corporate ethics. It is an part of ethics that deals with an conduct of business according to the right and wrong things. So these are ethical things. As per that, the organization has to decide their policies and work. Then what is personal value refers to the conceptions of what an individuals or group of individuals are regard and describes, means actually what they think and what they are doing. This is about the personal values. Then what are the different significant or characteristics of good governance? When we can say that the particular governance or particular organization director body is an good. When there is an changing ownership structures, means the ownership is not always belongs to the one family or one persons. Okay, then there should be some social responsibilities. The director bodies or that governance always look for the social responsibilities in the positive impact of their project or positive impact of their company on certain societies. Then avoiding scam. There should be no scam in organizations, and company always supposed to be think in a global ways or globalizations, means thinking for making the trade or making the business in more than one countries. Okay, so these are the some significance or the good characteristics of good governance or good corporate governance. Then what are the different issues of corporate governance? Some like basic issues like ethical issues, means choosing within right and wrongs. Then efficiency issues like your performance, means your relation with an input and outputs. Then some accountabilities, mean that should supposed to be matched with your things, means what you are doing, means how much you are spending and how you are getting returns. Then some structural issues like board of directors. Then shareholders and investors, means the person who is going to invest in your companies for the purpose of getting some rewards. Then internal controls and risk management. So these are the some issues of corporate governance. Now this is for the today's sessions. Now what we learn today? Today we have seen about what are the different types or forms of organizational structures. Like we have simple organizational structures for small organizations which is managed and owned by any single persons. Then second one, we have functional structures. Based on your functions, you have segregated or you have separated your organizations. Means similar kind of task we have grouped each others, means the decisions or tasks related to productions are supposed to be comes under production departments. Okay, example this one. Then we have seen what is divisional structures. When organizations growing more than this, means for the organization sometime this divisional this functional structure is not sufficient. That time organizations think for this divisional structures. That divisional structure in the way of can be in product based, then can be in customer based or geographic based. Then next one, that is strategic business unit, based on your business unit. In case of your corporate companies are having various diversified business segment, that time organization follow this SBO kind of organization structures. Okay, likewise. Then next one, matrix structures, that when each of tasks is grouped under each department and which is supposed to be followed by any one persons. Okay, now whatever the activity related to the productions for project A, project B and project C, they are supposed to be follow any one persons. Okay, then what is corporate governance? Is simply set up systems and process, or it is structures or operating and controlling systems which look after for achieving the long term objective and goal of your organizations. Okay, it contain your director bodies, chairperson, your CEOs, generally higher authorities, means they have task to take major decisions. Then some terms like corporate powers is simply ability to influence other employees or ability to influence other persons. Then what is corporate politics? Means more than activities carried out not prescribed in policies and purpose of influencing distribution to the advantages within the organizations. Means activities other than these policies and your purpose to getting the benefit to your organizations. Then what is corporate culture? It is an set up in important assumptions or some kind of beliefs and values on which your organizations works commonly. Then who is stakeholders? The group or person who is directly or indirectly. That can be your competitor, that can be your customers, that can be governors or local societies or environments. And shareholder is an person who is purposefully investing in your companies for the purpose of getting rewards. Then what is corporate social responsibilities. When the organizations are responsible or accountable for their surrounding or their locality or for peoples. Okay, they are looking for economic and social developments in a positive ways. Okay, by donating some monies or by starting some trust or by starting some project which work in the favor of societies. Then corporate ethics. For this corporate social responsibilities, I can put one examples. Okay, so nowadays Lifebuoy is advertising against that coronas, that they are showing that you need to just wash your hands, not by using only Lifebuoy. You can wash your hands by using any soaps. Okay, means they are showing just trying to create the awareness about how your washing hand is an importance for fighting against these coronas. Okay, then what is corporate ethics? Means it deals about what is the rights and wrongs for your organizations. Then personal value refers to the conceptions of what an individuals or group regards and describes. Means it about the any one individual persons. Then significance or some characteristics of good corporate governance, like changing ownership structures. Means that person, companies or organization not supposed to be always belongs to the any one persons. Okay, but nowadays so companies are belongs to the only one person only. Consider the example of Aditya Birlas or Ambani groups. Okay, they are belongs to the only Ambani's families only. Then social responsibilities. What are the means that organizations are governance supposed to be follow this social responsibilities. There should be no scopes for scams or wrong things or any fraud things, and companies supposed to be think global ways, means more than one countries. Then the issues of corporate governance, like some basic issues like ethical issues, means choosing between right and wrongs. Then some efficiency issues, means your productivities. Then accountabilities, means it is supposed to be accountable or it should be the match. Then board of directors, some structural issues like board of directors, shareholders and investors, and internal controls and risk management. So this is about the today's sessions. I hope you understand. If not, please ask me. Thank you.